How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks, and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about SOFI. It did have a pullback inside of the market. No surprises due to the weakness we've been seeing. But one thing that I want to give you guys a heads up on, if you are interested in the long-term prospects, we're going to talk about some price ranges you want to keep a look at. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important, because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for SOFI. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $9.62, being down 3.80%. On the low, it tested $9.59, and then on the high, testing $10.22. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 53.684 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 76.397 million shares. So one thing we noticed right away, we did have below average volume in the stock, and it's part of the reasons why we've seen a pullback on the day. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 36.91. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So it is very clear that SOFI is in a bear market. It's been on a strong downtrend, and many people have been asking me, and like I've said in my previous videos, I would not be surprised if we break through that $10 level, and that's exactly what we did. Now, as far as for the next move down, don't be shocked if you see us in that $8 area. But one thing that you want to see, can we hold up support at $8.82? Because if we are unable to do that, then that's where I can see us coming down all the way to $8, especially within the coming weeks. So that is an area you're going to want to keep an eye on, especially if you're interested in the long-term prospects of the company. Now, as far as for a reversal is concerned, you're going to see some price action and getting back above $10 and then making that move to reclaim the 21-day EMA, which is at $11.31. And then upon getting to $11.31, we have this psychological area here right at $12. And upon passing $12, I feel things can get very interesting, because I know at 12 we would have that selling pressure and buying volume would obviously overcome that. So going into tomorrow, let's see if we could stay above 950, and if we can't stay above 950, let's see if we could hold up support right around 918. So now let's get into the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for SOFI. As we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings here, we have DCM International that purchased just over 11.7 million shares. So very bullish right there. And then we could see from March the 1st, we actually covered these in the previous video. So this is a very bullish position right here. So let's see what SOFI does as this year continues. So when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 41.94%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 11.63 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 8.2 million, updated just now, and then for the short borrow fee rate, the latest being at 1.72%, with the max being also at 1.72%. And then when we take a look at the history of the short volume, we could see for the close of the third, it was at 40.93. And then for the close of the fourth being at 41.94. So one thing that remains the same, SOFI does continue to have short squeeze potential. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for SOFI. So we see on the inflow, it is at 97.01. And then on the outflow, it's at 101. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it is 0, on the medium it is 53.47, and then on the small it is 43.54. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it is 0, on the medium it is 61.59, and then on the small it is 39.66. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see from March 7th, which is today, we have 0. And when we analyze the numbers even further for the small scale orders, it tends to represent the retail side. We had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, it represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had 0 on both sides. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it is at 6.68%. So one thing that is very clear, we do have a good amount of traders in this play, but we do see there's some interest on the retail side. So this is why there's going to be continuation of volatility. And as these markets continue to pull back, don't be shocked if you see retail start selling out of their positions. So now let's get into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for SOFI, for the latest press release that came out, they were given a price target of $12 from Piper Sandler. So that does show that there is some upside from the play, but I wouldn't be jumping the gun as of yet to get into a position. I will continue to exercise some patience. We could see the recent 52-week low was at $8.82. So there's a strong possibility over the coming weeks we could revisit this area. As far as for $9, yes, you want to see it hold up, but there's a good chance it will break right through that. And if we fall below that $8.82 level, I can see the stock going down to $8. And you guys know, since I do believe in the long-term prospects, I will be loading up the boat on this play. Also, if you're looking for a bullish reversal on this play, it's going to have to go back to reclaim at least $11 and then see what it can do from there. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information, we could see institutions are continuing to load up on shares and they're doing it by sizable amounts. And then when we analyze the short interest, it showed us it does continue to have short squeeze potential. So what this play needs is more buying pressure. Yes, we did have retail that was buying in, but we need a lot more volume in that to get this stock moving. So the volume starts dying down, especially as this week progresses and as the market continues to pull back. That's why I'm saying don't be shocked if you see SOFI trading in that $8 range. And like I was saying, this becomes even more interesting investment to make, especially when it's trading at those levels, and we know a lot of those price targets are well above $10. So let's see how SOFI performs for this coming week. I'll continue to keep you guys updated and we'll talk real soon.